Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope all the viewer doing well. I hope all the viewer doing fine, and I hope all the viewer in good condition. Okay everyone, my name is Rizky Fatma Amalia from class 1A English Education, and my student ID number is 12-60010. I am the student of Swadaya Gunung Jati University, Faculty of Teachery and Education. So today everyone, I would like to finish my middle test about English literature. So I test to make a video about English literature, and today I made video to complete the middle test of English literature subject in my college. Okay, so without any further ado, I will explain about English period. So let's just jump into my explanation. So, okay everyone. So in the first slide, I would like to explain about Elizabeth period history. The Elizabethan period is also known as the Renaissance period in English literature. Therefore, to understand it, we need to get just a picture of what the Renaissance really was. The Renaissance first emerged in Italy in the 14th century and then spread to the north towards the end of the 15th and 16th centuries. In a broad sense, the Renaissance was the beginning of the opening of the human mind of Western Europe and the gradual disappearance of the folk that seemed to overwhelm that thought in the Middle Age. It should be noted that in the Middle Age, Western European humans moved only within narrow limits, both physically and mentally. The world is nothing more than the lands on its continents and a small part of Asia and Africa. Likewise, his mind only moved within the limits set by the tradition and the crutch at, time, at that time. His culture too was largely not made up of things he had discovered himself, but on the principles and traditions that have been determined primarily by the crutch. The Renaissance gradually broke down the institutions in on. At first, the knowledge came from the Arabs who began to reveal the fog that covered people's mind. Western Europe. Then began a flood of works by classical Greek poets and philosophers revealing a world of literature and philosophy which they had never been before and which they felt suited their tastes. So there was great interest in everything that came from ancient Greece. In art in general, classical Greek works are used as example. In literature in particular, the interest in classical Greek works gave rise to what is called humanism, which is an understanding which believes that the study of human writings. In this case, the classical works is more useful for human interests in general than the study of absolute theology. The Renaissance changed the attitude and mentality of Western European people. The authority of the crutch and tradition which controls almost all aspects of human life was replaced by the authority of science. The nature of accepting what has been determined by the crutch and tradition is replaced with a spirit of self-discovery. Thus, the characteristics of the Renaissance people are free-spirited, individualistic, realistic, courageous in trying, eager to discover new things, and leaning towards secularism. During the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, the spirit of the Renaissance, as described above, was increasingly felt in England. It was marked by patriotism, religious tolerance, social calm, intellectual progress, and great passion. All of this is reflected in the literature of that era, which experienced a golden age like no other in British history. The most appropriate expression of the soul for a period that combines thoughts, feelings, and action is drama. Of all the literary outputs of the Elizabethan era, drama progressed the most rapidly and culminated in the works of Shakespeare. In addition, this era produced a large number of works of poetry, diverse and of high quality. The poetry of the Elizabethan period has a freshness and is romantic, that is, it follows the voice of the heart. Both in drama and in poetry, classical and Italian influences are also felt. However, this external influence was offset by a stronger national spirit caused by the achievements of the British in all fields during the Elizabethan age. In English history, the Elizabethan era includes the beginning of the modern English period. The literature found in the heyday of the Elizabethan era was poetry, prose, and drama. Elizabethan writers brilliantly demonstrated their ability to use this language as a vehicle from thought and feeling. First of all, here I will explain poetry or poem first. In the Elizabethan period, his literary works were classified as romantic in tone. This is evidenced by the use of fresh language, still influenced by classical and Italian literary works, also still following the voice of the heart. The most famous poet of this period was Edmund Spenser. He received his education at the University of Cambridge, which is influenced by classical and literary works in Old England, especially romance, and the works is Chaucer. Spenser's masterpiece in the epic poem The Faerie Queene was written in a new stanza pattern called Spenserian stanza. The first 3 books of The Faerie Queene were published in 1590, and then second set of 3 books was published in 1596. Shepherd's Calendar. This poem consists of 12 stanzas, each representing a month, so that the whole is a year. Shepherd's Calendar is a pastoral verse that is a poem that describes the life of a shepherd in a diaspora environment. And then Thomas Sackville is best known for his poem The Mirror of Magistrates, Guided by the allegorical character Sorrow, he met the important roles in British history. Then he allowed each of them to tell their own story so that this poem could be used as a mirror for the rules of that time. Together with Thomas Norton, Sackville also wrote the first British tragedy entitled Varrock and Porek or Gordobuk. The third is Philip Sidney, has always been seen as an English literary gentleman. He who wrote the ideal both for his poetic qualities and for his chivalry, all of which were published after his death, which shows that he himself did not attach much importance to his literary works. Astropole and Stella is a collection of 90 songs and sonnets by him dedicated to his ex-fiancée. And George Chapman was primarily a playwright. As a poet, he is best known for his translations of the main classical works, namely Iliad in 1611 and Odyssey in 1614. Michel Drayton was the creator of Polybiol, a long poem consisting of thousands of lines and describing the cities, mountains, and rivers of England and the fascinating legend associated with each. And the next literature is prose. It can be concluded that prose in this era has undergone change in terms of the use of simple language and sentences to the use of different characters from before. The following are famous figures in the Elizabeth period. First is Thomas Nash, was one of the authors of these picaresque stories, and his most popular work is The Unfortunate Traveler, or The Life of Jack Wilton. The study of classical works that were busy during the Renaissance period led to a critical attitude towards literary works in general. Thus, a new type of writing emerged, namely literary criticism, first in Italy and then in other Western European countries, including England. Apologia for poetry. John Lyly. In 1578, published his prose work entitled Euphus, The Anatomy of Wit. The plot is very simple, namely the love story between Euphus and Lucilla, who are unfaithful in love. In addition, this work contains a discussion of etiquette, feelings, and reflections moral. Another new form of prose is pastoral romance. Its content is pastoral as usual, only the form is prose. A well-known a well-known example of this form is Philip Sidney's Arcadia, whom we mentioned above, is a poet. This work is also written in exaggerated styles, but this pastoral is so popular that until now the word Arcadia is a synonym from pastoral realm. Francis Bacon is a philosopher, political judge, and writer. His work in English include The Advancement of Learning and Essays. As a Renaissance man, he was passionate about progress, and for the sake of progress, he advocated abandoning the conventional ways of thinking of the Middle Age and replacing them with experimental and inductive methods. For that era, the principle that Bacon put forward seemed new and, revolutionary, seemed and seemed new and revolutionary. Also, Bacon's style was different from the customs of the time, which tended towards euphuism, and closer to the modern scientific prose style, which was short and concise. Elizabethan drama is considered its best in the history of world literature, because in the Elizabethan era, drama in England reached its heyday. Famous playwrights are: the first is John Lilly, best known as a writer who developed a style of language called euphuism. Also wrote several comedies, including Endymion, The Man in the Moon, and Alexander and Campaspe. The stories are drawn from classical mythology and history, but what is more important is that John Lilly was the first British playwright to write high comedy. Thomas Kidd. Thomas Kidd was the author of a number of plays, including the Spanish tragedy in 1585, which was very popular at the time. He was the first playwright to create a play or melodrama theme on the theme of passion, which was later imitated by Marlowe and Shakespeare. And Christopher Marlowe was the greatest English playwright before Shakespeare. He is best known primarily for his four plays, all of which are Marlowe's tragedies or tragedies revolving around a central character who is torn apart by a loss for power. Marlowe's conception of this tragic hero, that is, a person who falls for his own imperfect nature, greatly influenced Shakespeare. William Shakespeare. He was born in Stratford-on-Avon and get an education up to high school. Then he went to London, and in this city he combined themselves with a drama troupe between 1590 and 1630, worth no less than 34 plays, but none published during his lifetime. All of his works are published for the first time several years after he died, was in 1623, and an edition known as the First Folio apart from this place. Shakespeare also wrote two long poems and about 1050 sonnets. Seen from the stories, historical drama Richard III and Henry IV, half historical drama or legend drama Macbeth and King Lear, fictive drama Romeo and Juliet, The Merchant of Venice. Seen from the kind of drama, tragedy is Hamlet, Othello, Macbeth, and King Lear. Comedy, Midsummer Night's Dream, As You Like It, Winter's Tale, and The Tempest. History is Julius Caesar, Richard III, Henry IV, and Cleopatra. If we read Shakespeare's works carefully, then we will get the impression that the works can be divided into four periods which might be parallel to the experience and growth of the writer's soul. Shakespeare's career as a playwright can be divided into four periods: beginning period or experimental period. This period began from Shakespeare's arrival in London in about 1588 and is characterized by youthful traits such as exuberance, exaggerated use of language, and use of rhyme in addition to the blank verse. Typical works from this period include Love's Labour's Lost, About Two Gentlemen of Verona, Comedy of Errors, Romeo and Juliet, Richard III, and King John. And the second is period of rapid growth, Midsummer Night's Dream, The Merchant of Venice, Henry IV, The Merry Wives of Windsor, As You Like It, Twelfth Night, are some of the works produced in the period that shows precision as well as high artistic prowess, improved storylines, and deeper knowledge of human nature. And the third period of gloom and depression. During this period, great tragedies such as Hamlet, Othello, Macbeth, King Lear, Julius Caesar were written, which showed the maturity of the soul and the pinnacle of the author's artistic development. Also, sonnets containing a gloomy and disillusioned tone were probably created during this period. And the last period is the period of calm. This period ended Shakespeare's prolific period, Winter's Tale and Tempest are his best written works of this period, which are dreamy and breathable. Another playwright who was quite prominent in the Elizabethan period was Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson is primarily a comedy writer and Esmond, sorry, Ben Jonson is primarily a comedy writer and as a man with deep knowledge of classical literature tried to apply the classical principles of the triunity in his works. In addition, he tends toward realism because the characters he depicts are ordinary people like we can meet every day. Even the locations of the scenes are not places far from England, but London. But London. Ben Jonson's main work is Everyman in his humor. The characters in this comedy are described according to theory. Humor is a story that comes from medical science, ancient Greek. So that's all the presentation that I can deliver. Sorry if my English pronunciation is not good. And of course, I'm still trying to learn about it. Thank you so much and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.